Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video. Now then, My Hero Academia Season 8, aka the final season of the show, begins airing in just 3 days' time, on October 4th. So before it starts, I decided I'd like to make one more video about the show before the final season, and then cover the ending in like April time next year, which is probably when it will end. And the topic for the final video before the start of the final season is, in my opinion, I'm going to explain why I believe, in my opinion, Endeavour is actually a better number 1 hero than All Might. Is it a controversial opinion or not? I'm not sure. Probably because almost every opinion within the My Hero Academia fan base is controversial in some way because of how terminally online and mentally ill most of the people within that fandom are. Luckily, I'm not part of the fandom. I'm not part of any fandom because, believe it or not, there's this crazy thing called enjoying something without interacting with the fan base of it. It's such a neat idea. I can't believe no one else has ever thought of it. So why is Endeavour better than All Might as a number 1 hero? Well, I believe All Might's peak as a character is when he was the number 1 hero for all of Season 1, all of Season 2, and the first half of Season 3. That's when I think All Might was at his absolute best. But from the second half of Season 3 onwards, especially Season 4 onwards, All Might has became less of a really important character, to me at least, and more of like a joke character who just shows up for a bit of comic relief. That's not what the former number 1 hero should be doing, to me at least. But I will give the show a little bit of credit, because in Season 7, All Might actually seems like a important character once again. But when it comes to Endeavour and how he became the number 1 hero, the reason why I believe Endeavour is a better number 1 hero is because Endeavour is a more complex character than All Might is, in my opinion. All Might is a naturally kind, caring, and easy to look up to person. Easy to be inspired by, because of his demeanour, the way he talks, the way he talks to people. Whereas Endeavour isn't really looked up to by anybody, because he's a lot colder of a person. Right, he's not as emotionally, he's not as emotionally locked in, I guess, as what All Might is. Like, he knows, he cares, he genuinely cares for the people he's saving. Whereas Endeavour is just saving them because that's just what heroes do. He doesn't really care about the people he's saving. And an argument that could go against Endeavour is he's not a very great person to his family. You know, he's done horrible things to his own family, and that actually works in favour of my argument, because yes, Endeavour did do those things to his family, but that is how a redemption arc for him that has been going on for the past, 4.5 seasons now. That's where he's begun to be more likeable character than he was when we first met him. Because, I mean, in Season 2, Todoroki refused to use his fire abilities when he was fighting Izuku because of Endeavour. Because of the things Endeavour had done to his family in the past. And it wasn't until Izuku basically screamed at him that it's not Endeavour's power, it's his. He should use his power, not Endeavour's. And then Todoroki from then on would use his fire ability. Throughout the series, Endeavour starts talking to Todoroki more, and Todoroki becomes more understanding of Endeavour and that he's not just this heartless, horrible person. There are reasons for why he did what he did. Not that makes what he did any better, but there's reasons for it. And how he was abusive towards his wife. Yes, that's obviously that's awful. And that's something that he should always be criticised for doing. But he's learning to change. He's learning to be more caring. He's learning to be more emotionally there for his family. And yes, of course, his neglect of Dabi or Toya, as he was back then, how Toya had an even stronger fire power than what Todoroki did, but because Todoroki had fire and ice, he was seen as the family prodigy, and Toya was just basically completely neglected. And the reason why he became Dabi is because of Endeavour. Endeavour neglecting him so much when he was a child is what led him down the dark path of becoming Dabi and joining the League of Villains. And of course, only in Season 7 was he finally taken out by Todoroki, which is very much poetic justice. Endeavour has learned to be, over the course of the last 4.5 seasons or so, he's learned to actually care about the people he's helping, and not just think it's just part of what you're meant to do. He's learned to care more about the people he's actually helping. And when Dabi was telling Endeavour all about the neglect and how he felt about the way he was treated when he was a child by Endeavour, this hurt Endeavour. It hurt him inside, because he realised he was realising how absent, I guess you could say, of a father to Toya he was. And it tore him up inside. He wanted to be the one that took down Dabi, but Todoroki made certain that only he would do it. And of course, we've still got another full season of the show left, so maybe Endeavour's redemption arc can be completed in the final season. And also, Endeavour has never felt like a joke character when he was introduced, when he first became the number one hero, and since he's been the number one hero. Endeavour has always been a serious character, whereas All Might has not always been a serious character. He's only just become a serious character again towards the end of Season 7, and hopefully all the way through Season 8 as well. But Endeavour's not obviously my favourite character in the show, but he is someone I do like in how he's turned his the perception of him by everyone else around. Like, people aren't scared of him anymore. People now do look up to Endeavour. If you remember, there was that, in a flashback, there was that scene with that one kid where everyone was, wanted to be All Might and took inspiration from him. There was that one kid that had, I think it was an action figure of Endeavour. He was the one, he was the one kid out of them lot that didn't look up to All Might, but instead looked up to Endeavour. And because of the way Endeavour has changed as a person, he's become more caring, he's become more understanding and more emotionally there for people, especially his family. Even if the third brother of the Todoroki family still hates him. I can't remember the guy's name, but not Darby and not Shota. The other one, the one that doesn't seem to have any like powerful quirk. That one still hates Endeavour with a passion even now. He's the only one that's never forgiven Endeavour for all the turmoil Endeavour put the Todoroki family through in the past. And you can't exactly blame him, because of course stuff like that will be very hard to get over. I mean, it took Todoroki long enough to get over it. The Todoroki is also fighting on the battlefield in very intense, deadly battles. He doesn't have as much time as the other brother to process everything, because he's busy with other things. But yeah, that should just about do it for why I believe Endeavour is a better #1 hero than All Might. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Tell me in the comments, what do you think Endeavour's the better #1 hero, or do you still believe All Might is the better #1 hero? I'd very much like to hear your thoughts in the comments. Because we're just 3 days away from My Hero Academia Season 8, the final season. I'm very excited, although it does feel like an end of an era. But until we meet again, see you in the next one.